Last Night in Soho explores the dark side of glamour and nostalgia in its visually stunning yet haunting tone. Unlike his usual stylistic approach of genre-blending comedy, director Edgar Wright takes a leap into a nuanced tone of psychological horror thriller. We follow Eloise, a young woman who moves to London to pursue fashion as she uncovers the dark secrets of Soho, transported back to the 60s through the eyes of an aspiring singer named Sandy. Hi, I'm Charmaine, and today we explore how the film submerges us into a world that is both dazzling and dangerous through its blocking, production designs, costumes, and color compositions. Arguably, the most memorable scene of the film is this. In a one-shot sequence, the production team coordinated the movements of Thomasine Mackenzie as Eloise and Anya Taylor-Joy as Sandy with the camera's motion, making it appear as if the two characters are inhabiting each other's space. Careful timing and camera positions are essential to achieve its fluidity, similarly to this behind-the-scenes clip from La La Land. Matt Smith's character, Jack's position, is also crucial, acting as a pivot point for Eloise and Sandy to subtly trade spaces as the camera pans around the characters. The film correlation between the two eras truly shines on this production design. Each set piece echoes the vintage glamour and decay from club interiors to the exteriors of alleyways, particularly the set of Café de Paris, where Sandy experiences her first moment in the limelight. Rich textures of red velvet seating and chandeliers gives a dreamlike mood, reflecting the glitz facade of the 60s. Mirrors were not only used as decorative elements, but also a symbolic visual with themes of duality. It bridges the timeline gap, enabling the audience to easily follow Eloise's connection to Sandy's life while being gradually consumed by it. Props in the modern scenes also reflect the past, like a vinyl record player. Clean-cut suits with gelled hair and smooth-talking charm portrayed by male characters were the epitome of the 60s. Costume designer Odell Dix Moreau captures its high-fashion glamour essence while contrasting the muted tones of Eloise's modern-day looks. Sandy's first introduction becomes the film's costume staple, pairing a pink chiffon dress, a chic blonde 60s hairdo, and a classic red lip. We see the character's makeup become messier and smudged, indicating a shift from hopeful to trapped, recalling films like Black Swan and I, Tonya, where costume or makeup changes parallel characters' descent into despair. Wright's clever use of colors and lighting underlines the film's psychological themes. Red, being the most prominent, represents danger and fear that Eloise experiences from Sandy's trauma haunting her. Blue, symbolizing disillusionment of her emotional struggle of uncovering the dark side of the era she once idolized. And finally, pink saturates Sandy's femininity and vulnerability to her exploitation. Eloise's world is filled with gentler and more neutral lighting compared to the neon-infused lights of the past. The use of bold highlights and dim lighting gives a more dramatic, oppressive feeling that most horror, suspenseful movies like to use. A contrasting yet similar composition that I found interesting was the opening shot and the climactic shot. This frame within a frame concept, used in both scenes, draws focus to its subject and subtle plot foreshadowing. Here we see Eloise posing at a doorway leading into a mini dance sequence of pure innocence and playfulness. Comparatively to the climax, it has the exact same framing but of Sandy sitting on a bed in a room burning in flames, depicting an imprisonment of her suffering. Ultimately, the film's mise-en-scène is more than an aesthetic choice, it's the language of the film itself. Last Night in Soho reminds us that everything has its downsides, and to look beyond the surface which can be applied in our lives. Thank you for watching.